guys, it's Christine, also known as IvyWinter. Thank you for joining me for another unpopular Disney opinion. I have been hesitant to do this one for a really long time because I know that there are people who are so rabidly fans of this one attraction, but I just have to get it off my chest. I've been hiding it for so long. This is worse than me hating Figment, and it is that I don't really like the Tiki Room, and I would like to see it replaced in Disney World. I know that there were collective gasps at that statement across the board. The Tiki Room is a classic. It has such a rich history. It opened in 1963. It was the first attraction to feature audio animatronics. So it's huge. I mean, it's a really huge moment for Disney. It's really interesting because this attraction was actually supposed to be a restaurant originally. They were gonna have the birds serenading to diners as they dined, and then they turned it into a full attraction. And don't get me wrong, the Tiki Room song is fantastic. I have no hate against that. But going and seeing it the last couple of trips, I sat there and I thought to myself, this is an attraction for the die-hard history nerds, but I don't think it is an attraction that works anymore in the present day. Now, I'm sure you could say, Christine, what about your boring Carousel of Progress? Well, I think that Carousel of Progress could be updated. I definitely think that we could update some of the last part, the last like futuristic part, because we're well beyond some of the things that are shown there, right? But I still think that it still holds some value. It teaches you a lot about the history of technology and communication through the decades, and I think that's still something that is relevant today. The Tiki Room was more of a marvel of its time, and I think that it feels very dated. I don't feel like we need it in Disney World anymore. We do have it in Disneyland, and I think that it should stick around there because Disneyland is Walt's park and it feels right there. That's the one that opened in 1963, by the way. The one in Disney World opened in 1971, just to not confuse anything. Obviously, I mean, Disney World wasn't open in 1963, but I think that we could have it in Disneyland and do away with the one in Disney World and replace it with something else. Could also be a similar sit-down show. We don't have to make it some crazy ride. I'm not about every attraction having to be some thrill-seeking ride or something like that. But I just don't think it holds up anymore. People always comment, like, I go to the Tiki Room and I get so upset when people walk out in the middle of the show. But you have to understand that for newer visitors who don't really know or have the nostalgia of it, it just doesn't hold up. It's not all that interesting. It's a little bit bizarre if you don't know what you're getting into. And it's just not really that entertaining. I feel like, oh my gosh, people are probably gonna kill me for this, but I just don't think that it is. Like, I had a hard time having it hold my attention. We had our friend Nikki who hadn't been in 15 years, and like, she was just like, that was weird and wasn't like, you know, my jam. And I think that a lot of people feel that way now, and rightfully so. It just doesn't seem to work. It worked back then because it was a marvel of how they were using these audio animatronics. But I think now that we've seen them so much in other situations and in other rides and done, I think, better, I just don't think that we need it in Disney World anymore. Now, granted, I think the original version is better than the under new management just disaster that they had for a while there. So, you know, comparing the two of them, the original wins no matter what. And that was them trying to make it more relevant, right? And it kind of didn't work. But I honestly think we just leave it in Disneyland. And for you guys who really want to see it, go over to California. But I think we could put something else Adventureland themed, Polynesian themed. It doesn't have to be an IP for all you people who freak out about IP rides, though. I don't know. I mean, it is kind of right next to the whole Agrabah area. Maybe we could have a legit Aladdin show of some kind. But I just don't think that it really appeals anymore. And I 100% respect the history behind it. I just think that we should move on, you know? I don't know. It's one of the ones that I think can be, I don't know, changed. Those are my thoughts on the Tiki Room. I feel like I've just put myself as a target. But you know, some of my unpopular Disney opinions are, you know, a little more on the line. You know, you get half and half people agreeing, disagreeing. I feel like this one's gonna be a rough one for me, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some of you agree with me. So I would like to know in the comments below, what do you think about the Tiki Room? Would you like to see it change? Do you like my idea of keeping it in one park, not the other? Do you want it gone in both parks, which would be blasphemous? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, then like it. If you like me, you should subscribe. I make videos every single week. I appreciate you watching, even if you don't always agree with everything that I'm saying, but you know, it's all good fun here. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of the day.